I'm CDL pre-trip inspection for a Class A vehicle. And I'm gonna start with my keys in my pocket, my wheels are chalk. And I'm gonna start with the ID clearance lights at the top of the vehicle with my turn signal lights on my truck and on my trailer. They're not cracked, not broken, and secure. And amber in color, amber in the front, red to the rear, no condensation. My windshield is not cracked, not broken, and secure. No outdated stickers, no obstructions. The seal around the windshield is not cracked, not broken, and secure. Not driver out afraid. The windshield wipers are flush to the windshield. They're not cracked, not broken, and secure. Not driver out afraid. My fender mirror, spot mirror, and flat mirror. They're not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts. My headlights are not cracked, not broken, and secure. Free of condensation, clean and clear. My tag is securely mounted to the bumper with no outdated stickers. It's secure. The suspension is balanced. If it wasn't balanced, I'll place the vehicle out of service. No leaks or puddles or hanging wires or broken glass underneath the vehicle. If that was such, I would place the vehicle out of service. All tires are properly inflated to the manufacturer's specification. Now, open up my hood, I'm going to the passenger side. Come on in. My radiator and the radiator hose. It's not cracked, not broken, and secure. No leaks. The hose is not dry rotted or frayed. Properly clamped. Bottom radiator hose go to the water pump. It's underneath the alternator. It's not cracked, not broken, and secure. No loose or missing parts, no leaks, and it's belt driven. The alternator is also belt driven. It's not cracked, not broken, and secure. No loose or missing parts. The belt is not cracked, not broken, and secure, and not dry rotted or frayed. And it should have no more than 3/4 of play. On this truck, I have the coolant reservoir is here, and the windshield washer fluid reservoir is here. Okay, they're not cracked, not broken, and secure, and no leaks, and they should read between the add and the full mark. The exhaust connects to the manifold and runs underneath the vehicle to the rear here. The exhaust is not cracked, not broken, and secure, no leaks, and if I had any leaks, it'll show black soot. My catwalk and my steps, they're not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts, free of debris. My fuel tank is not cracked, not broken, and secure. No leaks. Cap is hand tight with a rubber seal and a metal chain. And the tank are held up by metal and rubber straps. They're not cracked, not broken, and secure. And no illegal welds, not dry rot or free. Now I go to the passenger side. On the passenger side, I have 3 systems: the steering, braking, and suspension. Right now, we're going to just get the loose parts. So right here is my transmission dipstick, oil dipstick, air compressor, and power steering fluid reservoir, and the gearbox. And this hose right here goes to the steering pump. All of these parts are not cracked, not broken, and secure. No leaks. It should read between the add and the full mark. The air compressor is gear driven. How I would check and the steering pump is gear driven. And how I would check my dipsticks, I'll pull them out, wipe them off, insert them back in, pull them back out, and they should read between the add and the full mark. Now my steering system number 1, steering shaft and my steering linkage. Steering shaft and steering linkage. They're not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts. Steering shaft should have no more than 2 inches of play. No debris wrapped around it. And the steering linkage is connected by castle nuts and cotter pins. Come on in and show that. Right here, castle nuts and cotter pins. Okay, system number 2, braking system. My ABS line and brake hose, they're not cracked, not broken, and secure. Not dry rot or frayed, no leaks. The brake chamber is not cracked, not broken, and secure. Not dented, no leaks. And the push rod and slack adjuster. Push rod and slack adjuster is not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts. When you pull on it by your hand, you should not be able to pull on it no more than 1 inch with the brakes released. Inside the wheel, right here, inside the wheel is the brake drum. It's not cracked, not broken, and secure, and not dented. Inside the brake drum are your brake shoe lining. They're not cracked, not broken, and secure, and not worn dangerously thin. System number 3 is the suspension. My leaf springs, my U-bolts, axle, hangers, hanger mounts, the frame, and the shock absorber. All of these parts are not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts. They're not shifted or missing, and no leaks from the shock absorber. Now, I'll go to my drive axle. On my drive axle, I have my braking system and my suspension, and I will inspect them the same way as I did in the front. First, the brake system. The ABS line, the brake hose, the brake chamber, the push rod, slack adjuster, the brake drum, and the brake shoe lining. And I will inspect those parts the same way as I did in the front. The suspension, the leaf springs, the U-bolts, the axle, the hangers, hanger mounts, the frame, shock absorber. I will inspect all those parts the same as I did in the front, with the exception that I have a rubber bellow here, the spacer, and the torque arm is in the middle. And these parts are not cracked, not broken, and secure, no illegal welds, and not dry rot or frayed, and no leaks. Now I go to my trailer axle. We come down here to the trailer axle. Trailer axle braking system parts and suspension parts. They're not, you have the braking system parts first. ABS line, the brake hose, the brake chamber, the push rod, slack adjuster, brake drum, and the brake shoe lining. I will inspect these parts the same way as I did in the front. The suspension, the leaf springs, the U-bolts, the axle, the hangers, the hanger mounts, the shock absorber, the bellow, the spacer, and the torque arm. I will inspect all these parts as I did in the front. Now my front steering tire. My front steering tire is not cracked, not broken, and secure, and properly inflated to the manufacturer specification. It's not dry rot or frayed, with no leaks. No cuts or bulges on the side walls. The tread is evenly worn. How I will check the tread is with the tread depth gauge. How I will check the air pressure is with a rubber mallet or a air pressure gauge. The front steering tire should be no less than 432 in the front. Cannot be recapped. All other tires can be recapped, and they should be no less than 232 in tread depth. The tires in the rear on the drive axle and trailer axle, they should not be mismatched, nor should they be rubbing in the middle. My front steering rim is not cracked, not broken, and secure, no illegal welds. And on the drive axle and trailer axle, you have bud rims, and I will inspect them the same way as I did in the front. With the exception, there should be no debris in the middle. All lug nuts on my steering axle, drive axle, and trailer axle. All lug nuts are not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts. If they were loose or missing, they would show rust or shininess. Now, all valve stems on my steering axle, drive axle, and trailer axle, all valve stems are not cracked, not broken, and secure. No leaks with the metal cap. My oil hub is not cracked, not broken, and secure. No loose or missing parts, no leaks. My drive axle and trailer axle, I will inspect them the same way as I did my oil hub, with no leaks. Now, I'll close up my hood. Strap it down on the passenger side. Then strap it down on the driver's side. Strap it down. Now you're at the driver's side door. my driver's side door on my truck and on my trailers, they open and close properly. The hinges are not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts. And my handrails, metal handrails, and the seal around the door is not cracked, not broken, and secure, not dry rot or free. Now I would combine these parts: my handrails, my cable connector holder, my dummy coupling, and the drive shaft. They're not cracked, not broken, and secure, and no illegal welds, no loose or missing parts. Now, and my air tanks are right here. They're stacked on top of each other. So they're one right here, one right here. They're not cracked, not broken, and secure. And also, my air tanks on my trailer. So my air tanks on my truck and trailer, they're not cracked, not broken, and secure. No leaks, and drain daily, free of condensation. Now, my air lines and electric line connector box on my truck and on my trailer, they're not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts. The lines, the electric line, the emergency line and service line on my truck and on my trailer, they're not cracked, not broken, and secure, not dry rot or free, no leaks. The glad hands and electric connection on the truck and on the trailer, they're not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts, no leaks, and not dry rot or free from the bushings inside. Now, I drop down to my fifth wheel. Fifth wheel is properly greased, no gap, and it sits on the platform. This is the platform. Platform has mounting bolts. And my release arm is in the lock position. And this means that my lock jaws are in the lock position around the kingpin, and the kingpin securely mounted to the apron. And all of these parts are not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts. Okay. Now, my mud guards and mud flaps, they're on my truck and on my trailer. They're not cracked, not broken, and secure, and not dry rot or frayed, and not dragging. The DOT tape on my truck and on my trailer, they're not cracked, not broken, and secure, clean and clear. The rear brake lights on my truck are red in color. The reverse light is white in color on my truck and on my trailer. The turn signal, the left turn signal and the right turn signal, and the four-way flashing. All of these parts are not cracked, not broken, and secure. No condensation. Now I have clearance of 303 of clearance. Now my header board is not cracked, not broken, and secure. Strong enough for cargo not to crash through. Come on in. Now the skirt and my landing gear is not cracked, not broken, and secure. The landing gear pad is in the raised position, and my crank is in the lock position. And all these parts are not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts. The frame of my trailer and the deck, come on down, is not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts, no holes in my deck. My ABS light is not cracked, not broken, and secure. No condensation, and amber in color. Now swing around. I already got my ID clearance lights, my turn signal lights, my brake lights, four-way flashing. They're red in color. Tag light is white in color. All these parts are not cracked, not broken, and secure, and no condensation. My tag is securely mounted with no outdated stickers. The DOT bumper is not cracked, not broken, and secure. No illegal welds, no loose or missing parts. Now I will tell the DLA to send him this way. I will enter the vehicle with 3 points of contact. Follow me. So you're gonna get in with 3 points of contact. So I will climb in, 3 points of contact. The first thing I want to do is put my seatbelt on. My seat and my seatbelt properly locks. My belt is not frayed. My mirrors are adjusted for me. I take my key, use a safe start. I just turn the gauges on and use a safe start. My ABS light went out, it properly works. So now I'm gonna turn the vehicle on, build up my air pressure. Now I'm gonna start with my turn signal lights here. So my left turn signal indicator, my right turn signal indicator properly work, and my four-way flashers properly work. I turn my light on, my high beam indicator properly works. Now turn all that off. Now my windshield wipers, turn them on, they're flush to the windshield. By being that the window is wet, I just showed that they properly are secured to the windshield. Now, my city horn, air horn, they properly work. My steering wheel should have no more than 2 inches of play or 10 degrees of play, whatever one you choose to say. Now, my gauges. The trans gauge you don't have to mention, but the temperature gauge, that's it, it'll say water. It rises when the vehicle warms up. If it reaches 250 or 260, you want to place the vehicle out of service. And the oil pressure gauge should reach between 5 and 20 when idle. They properly work. Tachometer and the speedometer properly work. My voltmeter is here. It should read between 12 and 14. The fuel, it should be half the full, properly work. My air gauges, they reach the governor cutout rate, they properly work. Now, my vents, you want to turn the vent on to the defrost and the feet level. So we turn that on, make sure that you turn it to the heat, turn the vent on, and you fill at the top, you fill down the bottom. Okay, then you turn the vent on. Turn the vent on, you fill the vents. They blow, they properly work. Now turn that off. Now my emergency equipment is right here. So I have my ABC fully charged fire extinguisher, 3 reflective triangles and spare fuses, all right here. Okay, in this box. And they're secured. Now I'm ready to perform my air brake test. So now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to perform my parking brake test, aka tug test. So I'm going to push in the parking brake, put my vehicle in drive, and tug against the trailer brake first. Starting now. Put the vehicle in drive, tap my accelerator. My trailer brake properly held, it properly worked. Now I'm going to push in I pulled out the parking brake and the trailer brake. Now I'm in drive, tap it, accelerator, the parking brake held, it properly worked. Now what I'm going to do next is pull the trailer brake out. The parking brake is already out. Put the vehicle in neutral. Now, I'm going to explain my service brake test. For my service brake test, I will put my vehicle in drive 5 miles an hour forward, apply the service brake, and it should not pull to the left or pull to the right. No unusual feeling. Now, I'm going to do 3 things. Put 3 fingers up. And these 3 fingers represent that I'm going to turn the truck off. 1, 2, turn the key on so my dash lights up. And 3, push in my parking brakes and trailer brakes. Starting now. Turn the truck off. 1, 2, turn the key on so my dash lights up. If the dash doesn't light up, you didn't do something right. Now, 3, push in the parking brake, push in the trailer brake. Let the air settle. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hold my service brake down for 1 minute. And I should not lose no more than 4 PSI within that minute. And I'm going to find a starting point. I'm going to start now. And I'm going to hold this brake down, all the way down. And I'm looking at my gauges to make sure that I do not lose no more than 4 PSI. "25 seconds. "15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 1 minute. I did not lose no more than 4 PSI. It properly works. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fan my brakes down to 60 PSI, and my low air pressure indicator and buzzer should come on. And then I will continue to fan my gauges down to 40 to 20 PSI, and the brakes that I pushed in should pop out, starting now. So, we're looking here. My gauges came on, they properly work. Now I'm looking at my parking brake and trailer brake. They both popped out, they properly work. Now I'm going to turn my truck off, turn the key off, take the key out, and proceed with checking all my lights. Now, also, speaking of lights, my interior light properly worked. That's an extra point. So now, I should have enough points right now for my pre-trip inspection. And you want to ask, do I have enough points? The DLA probably would tell you that you have enough points because checking the lights, that's only 1 point. So if you are short, then you want to ask the DLA in what area would you might be short. But if you followed this video, you should be A1. This is the greatest pre-trip. CDL Book Club is where you get CDL minded.